Hello guys, my name is Rakas Monika I'm from Institut Transportasi and Logistik Trisakti. So in this video, I want to explain about the effect of air transport to the economic development in Indonesia. So check this out.
Air transport in Indonesia shows exponential growth over the last decade, with 13,000 islands scattered throughout the country. Indonesia is currently the biggest archipelago country in the world. It is also the fourth most populated country in the world after China, India, and USA. The geographical condition as an archipelago country has made air travel the most popular way of transport. This leads the government to put a lot of expectation to air transport industry as the engine of economic growth. The interaction between air transport and economic development has been said to be a two-way mutual benefit relationship. Thus, first, this video which industry sector have an effect on air transport, which then will shed a light on how air transport affect economic development. Indonesia being a tourism-oriented country, air transport would most likely affect economic development by providing a platform for tourism sector to grow.
As an archipelago country, the Indonesia geographic landscape consists of 1,000 islands structured throughout the country. The fast, efficient, and in the last couple of years also become the cheapest transportation mode is by air transport. Indonesia geographic condition and lack of infrastructure on other mode of transport has made it difficult for tourists to reach their destination other by the air travel.
In Indonesia, air transportation has a significant role to contribute to Indonesian economy. It creates jobs and generates wealth. Airlines, airport operators, airport on-site enterprises such as restaurants and retail, aircraft manufacturers, and air navigation service providers employed 119,000 people in Indonesia in 2014. In addition, by buying goods and services from local suppliers, the sector supported another 550,000 jobs. On top of this, the sector is estimated to help support a future 140,000 jobs by paying wage to its employees, some or all which are subsequently spent on customer goods and services. Foreign tourism arriving to Indonesia who spend their money in the local economy are estimated to have supported an additional 1.7 million jobs in 2040. The air transport industry is estimated to have supported a $4 billion gross value added contribution to GDP in Indonesia 2040. Spending by foreign tourists supported a future $14 billion gross value added contribution to the country's GDP. This means that 2.7% of the country's GDP is supported by the air transport sector and foreign tourists arriving by air in Indonesia.
Air transport industry and tourism complements each other. Tourism itself is dependent on transportation modes to transport visitors. In return, the transportation industry is dependent on tourism to generate demand for its services. The improved facilities have stimulated tourism, and the expansion of tourism has stimulated transport. Air transport plays a vital role in regional movement of tourists. Tourism makes directly or indirectly a major contribute to the global economy of state. In 2015, tourism contribute $2.2 trillion to the world gross domestic product and provide over 208 million jobs globally. In order to access the destination, tourism will use any transportation mode. Air transport plays a fine role in regional movements to tourists. Tourism makes directly or indirectly a major contribution to global economy of state. In 2015, tourism contributed 2.2 trillion US dollar to the world gross economic domestic product and provided over 108 million jobs globally. As aforementioned, the Ministry of Transport main priority is to promote safety and efficiency, as well to accommodate the explosion of air travelers. In order to achieve that, Indonesian government will reduce the role from service provider and regulation to only acting as a regulator. Meanwhile, it will leave the service provider sector to the private sector.
According to Ministry of Transportation Blueprint, the transitional period from service provider to be fully regulator will be done in 3 phases. This includes the government role in funding the airport development. During the first phase, the development priority will be to accommodate the growing demand of air passengers. In this phase, government will still have funding the infrastructure development by injecting initial capital to airport development. This stuff will only happen if the airport has steady growth in demand, with its contribution to the national passengers less than 0.11% or 50,000 passengers annually. In the second phase, the airport development funding will be found by hybrid method with government and private sector will fund the project equally. In this period, government will prioritize airport development according to the business plan and market analysis. Only on the third phase, government will let the private sector to fully provide air transport infrastructure according to market demand analysis. In this phase, government will no longer fund the airport development.
So, as a conclusion, taking into consideration the growth of air transport and exciting tourist attractions like Borobudur and ancient temple, the famous diving sites, serving national park, culinary tourism, urban tourism, and etc. I think can strongly recommend that the government of the Republic of Indonesia of future enhance both air transport and tourist industry to support the national economy in Indonesia. And that's all for me. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.